Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you tonight for a game review. I know I'm supposed to get back on topic of the Kingdom Hearts series, but it will happen. I will get back to it. I just wanted to talk about this Resident Evil game for Resident Evil 2, the PS4 game that I got a chance to play. I did play it on Xbox One, and I actually did game stream it. I do want to game stream this game, but I don't know. I just don't have the best Wi-Fi to do game streams on YouTube, and it'd be a little difficult to do that. So basically, it's just my area. It's a rural area. I don't have great service, but it's whatever, I guess. So I'm going to discuss what I experienced for this gameplay for the 2019 Resident Evil 2 game, and let you know my thoughts on this game overall. So let's dive into this game review. Now, I started with the Leon chapter. It pretty much shows Leon and basically Claire in this game, how they met and all that at the very beginning of the game, where there's a lot of zombies that are in the way and things get interrupted, and then they drive off into this raccoon city, and then a car explodes, and then they get separated. So basically, Leon's story was actually really interesting. You fight the tyrant Mr. X at the very end of the game, which is probably a tough fight. I think throughout majority of the game you have to the guy just doesn't stop chasing you. He follows you and tries to find you and kill you mostly. So some of the time I actually did lose to him because it took quite a bit of time to get through fighting him. But I actually did enjoy Leon's story. It was really interesting. You meet Ada Wong in this, and you think she's FBI, but then you find out at the end of the game she's a mercenary trying to sell the G virus to the highest bidder and all that. So she's not really that innocent, I can tell you that. But basically, I did enjoy the gameplay for this game, for Leon's story, so that's pretty much a 9 out of 10 for that one. The story was really interesting. There were a few critiques, but it still was a great story. Then I just finished the Claire story. That was actually really good, too. This is a 9 out of 10 as well, because basically in Claire's run, the second run around for the Resident Evil 2 game. So you only play as 2 characters. You can do extra modes for this game, but I just personally didn't do the extra modes section. I just didn't want to. I don't know. I just didn't care for it. That was the only time I just was like, I've already beaten the game. I only came to play the story mostly. That's what really interests me with the game, is the story mode. So basically, Claire's story, it revolves around this girl Sherry, I believe is her name is. I almost said Shelly. Sherry is her name. And basically she's Annette's daughter. She works with Umbrella, so does William. William turns into that weird creature or whatever. He put the G virus inside his body, and he became some kind of monstrous creature with a big eyeball, and it eventually forms into, sorry for shaking the computer or the laptop, I just hit my finger on it by accident. Basically, Claire's story was a good run. The only critique I had an issue with trying to figure out, which it wasn't hard, it just took a little time to get through that, was where you're at the environmental center or the Greenland Center, where you're trying to do the components for the plant 43 or something like that. I think you know what I'm talking about. the vial stuff or whatever, just to like depressurize the vines and all that. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the solution thing or whatever. It's a solution you gotta put inside this whole area just to get to the next wristband card or whatever to put on there. And for the first one, you do run into Mr. X because Leon. It's through Leon's story. And then in the second run, when you play as Claire, I didn't get that. I didn't see Mr. X. So I was mostly fighting the one-eyed creature, monster-looking umbrella guy, not Albert Wesker. Just, basically, William was one of the science people or whatever, so that injected himself with the G virus and then basically became that monstrous creature that you have to fight at the very end of the game, which the thing doesn't want to die. Let's just say that. And he eventually does, and then he just comes back again at the very end of the game. Like at the last few moments of the game. And that thing didn't want to die until the last second. So basically, overall, the gameplay is fun. I really enjoyed this game. And for a score, I'd give Resident Evil 2 a 9.5 out of 10. This was a good run. I mean, there are a few critiques that I have. Maybe like a 9 out of 10 at least. I'm a little indecisive about that, so sorry about that. I have a few critiques with the game, but I wouldn't say this is the worst remake for Resident Evil 2. It's actually a fun time. It's a really good experience for new players and just to see how you do. For the first run, it takes a little bit of practice, this game, with trying to figure out what you need to do in the game and how to fight your way through the game and try to beat it at a certain time, I guess. I don't know. It's mostly beat it in your own time, but basically I beat this game in like 4 or 5 hours for the Leon story. Maybe a little over that, I don't know. But it doesn't take me that long to beat Leon's story. Claire's story, I got done with it in like 4.5 hours. It was pretty quick. So I did pretty well on that one. So basically 9 out of 10, officially 9 out of 10 for my official rating for Resident Evil 2, the 2019 game for PS4 for this remake. Thank you for watching this game review.